All right, this is round two of story time. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Help me grow my channel, and there'll be more content coming soon, like car content, bike content, more gaming content. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. On to the story, because I already did this story already tonight, and I don't know why, but when I tried to save it, it saved 8 seconds. I don't know why, but it did. So now I'm here again. Just gonna jump into a solos match. I was originally with Devin, um, but yeah. So here we go. Story time part two. So the other night I was with my girlfriend. We were just chilling, and a little backstory. People, like, we've seen people and heard of people before walking through the neighborhood checking doors, right? Like, this is nothing new. Um, and we always said, like, if we ever saw it, we would confront them, right? So I'm sitting there on the couch, and people are like, two bikes roll by, right? And I'm like, that's kind of weird, but whatever. Like, people pass the front all the time, right? And then I saw this person, this dark shadow person, walking slowly down the middle of the road. And I'm like, that's weird. And then he kind of disappeared behind my girlfriend's dad's truck. And so I get up and I go and look out the window. Like, I just lift the blind and look. And this fucker is door checking my girlfriend's truck. My girlfriend's dad's truck. Then walks over and does it to my car. And then walks over to their cousin's house across the street, okay? Now, my first reaction is, "Oh fuck no!" And I said that out loud, and I immediately start marching outside. No shoes, nothing. Forgot my phone on the counter. I just march outside, and her dad immediately follows me because he assumes he knows exactly what I'm doing. He knows. And the first thing out of my words is, "Get the fuck out of here." And the guy looks back at me and just starts slowly walking away. Like, he still door checked. I heard him still. He still door checked it, and I still yelled again, even louder. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, bud!" And then he looks at me. He says, "Fuck you." And then at this moment, I'm on the grass, and her dad just walks right by me and just continues walking at this person. And this dude is just walking kind of slowly away. And when he sees this, he turns around and says, "What the fuck are you going to do about it?" And swearing and all this stuff, right? And they get like face. And so I get closer because I'm 100% ready to fight. Like, if this fucking guy touches my girlfriend's dad in any way, shape, or form, I'm beating the living shit out of him because he was a short little fat fuck. Like, he would not do well in a fight. He might think he's tough, but he's not tough. And so there's yelling back and forth for a little bit, maybe like 2 minutes or so, and we both ask, or like one of us says, sorry, like some of the details are a little fuzzy because the adrenaline was running and I can't really remember exactly perfectly, but one of us says, "Why are you stealing from our neighborhood? Like, get the fuck out." Then this dumbass says, "I live in this neighborhood." Like, who? Like, why are you telling us you live in this neighborhood? Now we know you live in this neighborhood, and it's gonna be easier to track you down after with the cops. Okay? So he says he lives in this neighborhood. Her dad and I literally look at each other and go, like, we look at each other and look back at this dumb fuck and say, "Why the fuck are you stealing from this neighborhood then? Like, are you an idiot?" And then he says something, right? And then her dad, my girlfriend's dad, says, "Fucking teenagers, too lazy to find work, so you decide to rob people in your own neighborhood." And this kid then goes, "I have a job." And he's like, then we both look at each other again, and we're like, look back at him, we're like, "Then why the fuck are you stealing?" Like, we're completely confused at this point, and we're like, he's getting mad, and so we're like telling him to, like, we're saying shit like, "Don't ever fucking come back here, and if I see you back here, like, you're going to regret it. Like, we're going to call the cops, or you're going to regret it." And he starts swearing and shit. And then this dumbass. So my girlfriend's dad, he's almost 60, okay? Like, he's an old white dude, and this dumbass kid calls him the N-word. Like an idiot. Like, this kid had, like, there's no way that this kid didn't have another agenda, because this, like, he's getting mad at us that we fucking caught him trying to steal from vehicles. He's threatening us. He's getting right up into our face, like, and so we're telling him to fucking fuck off, right? And his two buddies who were on the bikes, they didn't even come back for him. Like, they're like down the street, like probably at least a block away. And they're like, "Come on, man, let's go, let's just get out of here," right? Like a fucking smart criminal. Like, let's get out of here. And then so he slowly starts walking away, and my girlfriend's mom comes out and says something, and then he turns around and says, like, "Fuck you, bitch," and all this stuff, right? And then we're just laughing at him at this point. and so he then proceeds, her dad said, but he said something that ticked him off or something. And so he starts walking back very aggressively, and at this point I step in between them, and I didn't touch him. I just spread my arms out beside me each way, basically block him from getting to my girlfriend's dad. Like, if he touched him in any way, shape, or form, I would beat the living shit out of him. Okay. And so I was just like getting in the way, and he starts yelling at him, and I'm like, "Dude, get, like, back off," right? And he's like, he starts freaking out, like, "You're telling me not to touch you, and then you're fucking touching me." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not even touching you. I'm getting in the way between you and her and him." Okay. I'm kind of blown away that any of this even happened. Okay. And so, just gonna check here, see if there's anyone by me. Okay, so he's already being a dumbass. He told us that he lived in our neighborhood, and now he's freaking out because he thinks I touched him when I just put my hand out in front of him so he couldn't get closer to my girlfriend's dad, right? And so he finally starts walking away, and we start walking back to our house. All right. And he starts walking away, and he starts threatening us. He threatens us with a dog. He's like, "Don't make me come back here with my dog, and he'll fuck you up," and all this stuff, right? So we just laugh, and then he calls my girlfriend's mom a bitch again, and we just laugh some more, right? And then at this point, all the neighbors are watching from their windows. I basically told them when we were yelling at each other, like, "You lay a single finger on us, every single one of these houses in here, they're all coming out and beating the living shit out of you." Like, we have the support of this entire freaking neighborhood, basically. Like, the houses around us. And so he walks away, right? And he catches up to his friends and stuff. And at this point, all the neighbors come out, and we're all talking about it. And just like, people are like, we have new neighbors next door, and they ask what's going on, and we tell them, like, we're okay, like, this is what happened. And we have the neighbors across the street. They are extremely Christian, and so they immediately called the cops. And so they have the phone, they hand it to my girlfriend's dad. He's giving the descriptions and telling them what happened. And my girlfriend walks out and gives me my phone because she also called the cops. And I'm giving this girl on the phone, like, the description and what happened and all that. And they're telling us, make sure if they come back to call them and go inside. They don't want them to hear about us getting hurt, or like if they have a knife or a gun or something, right? We're like, okay, right? And so us neighbors are all just talking about it and saying what kind of idiots these kids are. And so we're just standing there. A few of the neighbors go in, and it's not even like 4 minutes since he left, okay? And I could hear faint music, okay? And I looked down the street at the park, and those are the fucks coming back. And guess what? They brought their fucking dog. But guess what again? I'm just gonna check here. Build the suspense. Alright, just check over here. Yeah, alright. They bring a fucking doodle, okay? They bring a fucking doodle That's one of the nicest breeds out there. Like, what is your Doodle one of the worst dogs around? Like, is this Doodle like a scary I don't get it, dude. You have a fucking Doodle. It's not gonna do shit, okay? Like, grow the fuck up, right? And he's acting all tough and shit, and that's when we hear about the neighbor's son, the Christians, like the very religious ones. Their son actually ID'd the fucking kid, the short little black kid with an afro that didn't even come up to my chin, and he ID'd him. And then my girlfriend also recognized him. Like, why? Like, that's the problem of stealing from your own fucking neighborhood, bud. Like, smarten up, dude. Okay? So he's already ID'd. Cops. I start calling when he's getting closer. They're walking up, trying to intimidate us with their fucking Doodle, right? And playing music louder too. Like, he is playing music when he walked by the first time in his backpack through like a wireless speaker, but this time he's playing it louder so we know he's there, right? He's trying to intimidate us, even though like he's just a scrawny little fuck, right? I don't even know what I want to do. Let's grab this guy. Oh shit, that's not the gun I want. Oh, I see him. Anyways, so he's coming up closer. I immediately call the cops because they haven't gotten there yet, right? So I call the cops, and they're really trying to make us go inside. And I get it, like they don't want to see us get hurt or anything. So we decide, I'm like, hey guys, the cops want us to go inside, let's go inside. Okay, so we go inside, and the cops finally come, but then they leave. I think they might have gotten a call that they heard, like, where the kids might be. Where the fuck is this guy shooting me from? So like they leave, and I'm just waiting there, and they finally come back, and I was told by the lady on the phone that I have to be the one to answer the phone because she asked me all the questions about COVID and all that. So I'm assuming they did that because I'm gonna buy a UAV. They probably did that so that they don't just like a bunch of people jump up and go talk to them and stuff, right? So it's a little civilized, right? And then they asked for our dogs to go away. Okay, I only have 10 minutes left. Okay, so sorry, I'm kind of lost right now. That kind of screwed me up. So we go inside. The cops come to the door. I'm talking. Like I open the door. I give them the description, all this stuff, right? And I let them know that the neighbor's kid across the street, they ID'd him, and they're like, okay, we'll go talk to them as well. And then also my girlfriend comes out and says everything that she said and how she recognized him, know exactly who it is, and she recognized another kid that was on the bike. And so these kids are young, and that's probably another reason why they didn't run away, is because they know that we can't actually touch them, or like you're acting all tough and shit when you're underage. And what happens if I beat the living shit out of you? Yeah, I might get in trouble, but you got your fucking ass handed to you, okay? So like, grow up, man. And then so the cops leave, right? And then the neighbor down the street that came and talked to us when we had our first gathering, her husband's a cop. Okay, and so when the other cops were talking to the neighbors across the street, she came down and said like she heard them in the back alley because again, they're being idiots. They didn't fucking leave. They were playing music, walking down the back alley with their dog, like a bunch of dumbasses. So like they say that, and then they go and like we saw the cops driving down the alley, right? And um we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on, right? Going to bed, and then I get a call from the police, like the cop that came to my door. I get a call from him, and they're asking, "Hey, did you call again?" I was like, "Not since the first two calls that we did, and you left." So that they said, "Oh, it must have been the neighbors then that we talked to after you." So I'm thinking that what they did was they probably walked down the alley, walked across the street at the end of the street, and then behind the houses across from us, there's um, a green belt. So they're probably walking around there, and they're probably behind their house. Like, again, dumbass kids. Like, they deserve to be caught and fucking dealt with. And one of the things that kind of blew me away when I was talking to the cop, what kind of resolution I wanted. Like, obviously, I want them to be caught. Like, they've been doing this multiple times, and yeah, there might have been other people doing it, but like we physically caught them doing it. So like you need to catch them. I said you like catch them and like scare them, almost scare them straight. Like we know they're like my girlfriend knows who her parents are. Like if you caught them and brought them home, they would be in the biggest shit of their lives. Like they wouldn't be able to shit straight for like months because they'll be fucking like you know what I mean, right? And they kind of giggled and they're like, okay, like that's understandable. There's been a lot of break-ins lately, and they might be tied to some of them. So I was like, yes, like if you could catch them and you could prove that they've stolen other shit, I'd love that, you know. So like, but yeah, so that's about it. I don't know if they actually caught up to him. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, like that's the story. And I can't believe it happened. This kid, like 17-year-old kid, is coming up to a like an old man, and like I'm 25 and a lot bigger than him, and he's trying to get us to punch him. Like, are you seeking out help? Do you not have help? Like, I really wish that my girlfriend was there with me because she would have been able to talk me down. And talking to her afterwards about it, she had a lot of good, like she would know what to say. Like I didn't know what to say because I have all this testosterone going through me. Like this person's touching my car. Like you're just lucky that you weren't I didn't drive my Subaru that day and you did it to my. I She was saying like she's worried more about like why is he doing this? Like is he not having does he not have someone to talk to at home about his troubles? Like and she has an awesome point. It's like this kid is going through something that he doesn't feel like he has the help to get through it, which is kind of sad because like he did a really fucking dickish thing, and he deserves to be punished for it. But it doesn't mean he has to be a bad kid. Doesn't mean he has to keep going down that road. And like I kind of hope that maybe one day like he might see this video. If you know who you are and you need to talk to someone, man, there's outlets out there. And there's definitely better ways to deal with your anger. And if you ever need to talk to us, come up to and knock on their door and ask for help. Ask for someone to talk to. You have teachers at your school, you have counselors, you have these government programs, you have friends, you have family members. Just talk, okay? So don't fucking steal shit, especially from your own neighborhood. You should be proud to be in your neighborhood. You should respect and help other people in your neighborhood. Wait a couple years and you're going to realize how hard it is to afford some of the shit that you're stealing from these people, okay? Like, I really wish I said this to him in the time, but I wish I told him, or said to him, like, how would you feel if you left something in your mom's car, or your mom left something very important to her in her car, right? And she just, that night, or sometimes, okay? Especially if you have a lot of stress or a lot of stuff on your mind, sometimes you just forget, okay? And then you wake up in the next morning, you're going to go get your thing out of the car, or your mom, and then you hear that someone, or you see that somebody broke in and stole it. Like, how would you feel? And you probably feel the same way that we're feeling right now, okay? Like I still can't believe it happened, and this is actually the first time I ever had to call the cops on anyone, and
Gas is moving in.
I just like smarten up. Like kids are getting so freaking dumb. Like stealing in your own neighborhood, telling the people that you're stealing from or trying to steal from that you live in the neighborhood. Like, how are you so stupid? But anyways, thanks for clicking on my video, listening to my story time. If you liked this video, let me know, and I have more story times. Maybe make a series out of it. But I almost have, at this point, I almost have 20 subscribers, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much for the support. A lot of you guys are my friends and family, and I just want to thank you a lot. It means a lot to me that you guys are supporting the channel, even though it's probably stuff that you don't care about. And I'm gonna go kill this guy. Let's see if I can get him. He probably hears me.
You're losing ground.
Catch you next time. Cheers.